I've been using the Ultra for 1 month now, and it's a great device, but I wish I could return it. And it's not because it's past the return policy, which yeah, it is, but it's because of multiple usability issues. Vadim reviewed the Ultra after 1 week of use and gave it a raving review, and I shot a bunch of sweet B-roll shots for that, which I'll also share and use in this video, but my experience has been a bit different because my review is not for those who honestly just want to buy the Apple Watch Ultra for one simple reason. It's freaking cool. Now, I completely agree with pretty much everything that Vadim said. This was the most excited I have been for an Apple Watch in many years. And even though I would have preferred a square watch more like the leaks, the design is fresh and modern. It is sporty, it looks industrial. I do love that flat top display, and the crown guard also looks industrial, and it really minimized how much false Siri activations I got when I'm having my hands on the ground pushing against something. I don't really like the color of the action button, but it is very, very useful to have. I also really like how loud and clear the speakers are. They are really, really nice for calls, both for me to hear whoever I'm talking to, as well as for them to hear me with those microphones. Now, in our hands-on with the Series 8, the Series 8 microphones actually sounded better. Go ahead and take a listen. This is the microphone quality of the Apple Watch Series 8, and this is the quality of the Ultra's 3 microphones in a room that doesn't have too much noise. Now, that is because the Ultra chooses which one of the 3 microphones to use, and here in our office it's not very loud, so I don't know what they chose, but in louder environments the Ultra does a better job. Now, I also absolutely love the haptics that are in this watch. Even after a month, I'm still surprised when it goes ahead and vibrates and notifies me how much I feel that. I can't miss it, and other people still don't hear that vibration. The red mode that is exclusive to the Ultra is also sweet, and I use it at night, not to just save battery, which it does, but because it is less distracting. Now, as far as the battery life, it is insane, but I'll get back to that in just a bit. The new 2000 nits of brightness on the display is also great. Now, I never complained about my previous watches, but it is nice to have in the bright sun. Now, with that, I do not love the Alpine Loop. Now, it holds really great once you have it on, but it's a pain to put on. It also can hit the actual display in the body if you're taking it off and putting it on a charger, and it's not that comfortable after a while, especially if that gets wet. Now, I also bought the diving loop, but I don't really like using it either. Now, of course, the summer's kind of gone, so we're not swimming and boating as much, but for regular use, putting it on and off is a pain, and I think that the white also pops way too much compared to the color of the watch, so it's kind of just sitting there. Don't get me wrong, both designs are great, and they hold on very well, so they're doing what they're designed to do, but the trail loop sold out instantly, and even now, the black and gray one is still sold out, so I can't get one of those. I'm still waiting on it. Now, I tried a few third-party watch bands, and those aren't too bad, but because of the Ultra being so tall, it basically makes the watch bands go straight down if they're rubber or a different material, and then you have this gap in between compared to, you know, regular Apple Watches where the Spitaka carbon just wraps around so nicely. It's so lightweight and comfortable. So overall, I just wish maybe we had more choices from Apple. Now, some people complained about the price tag of $800, but my stainless steel with Milanese loop was $850, which now dropped in price a bit. So those of people who went out and bought watches like this because they are a lot more durable, they'll now have an issue with the price. Now, I'm pretty hard on my watches, and my stainless steel one looks great compared to my wife's aluminum, which dings and scratches super easy, and the Ion X glass, which sounds durable, also scratches super easy compared to the sapphire screen of the stainless steel. The Ultra also has that, but because of the raised lip design, it's even more durable. Just watch TechRax smashing it with the hammer on his desk, and his desk breaks before the watch does, and even the internal parts break before the screen cracks. In the last month, I have slammed this thing against doors and other objects with not a single scratch or ding, so it's incredibly durable. And the battery life is tremendous. Even without the low power mode, which they showed off, which is gonna give you like 60 hours of use, I finish off each day, a normal day, with about 70% battery life remaining. This is something that Apple Watch users have been dreaming of for a long time. Now the Series 7 and 8 would still have good battery life remaining at the end of the day, enough to do sleep tracking and then charge it in the morning, but of course that is with a brand new watch. My stainless steel now dies each day before I go to bed, which sucks, and it is only a few years old, so the Ultra will still have great battery life even 4 to 5 years from now, which is another great selling point. Now, when I go out on long hikes, the Ultra can track my whole day, whereas I've had other ones die before I am done. So what do I not like about it, and why do I wish that I could return it? Well, one thing is comfort. I'm used to the large size now. It took about a week, and it's funny that the regular watches feel small on my wrist now. Overall, it is less comfortable because it is not only larger, but also a lot thicker. So depending on what you're wearing, some longer shirts and jackets, they have a tough time slipping over this watch, and it really pops out. But another thing is sleep tracking. Now I tried it out because the battery life is great, where my older one wasn't that good, and I just cannot get used to it. Rolling around in bed, which I do, I constantly feel this thing. Now, if that sounds funny to you and not a big deal, MKBHD actually switches out his watch band each night and then again each morning on his Series 7 just to get more comfort for sleep tracking. Because of that, I'm not using this for sleep tracking, even though it seems like the perfect device with great battery life. And the older watches were just so much sleeker, not only for sleep tracking, but just how they look on your wrist. And each time I grab this Series 8 with this Pitaka watch band and I put it on, I just think, man, I wish that I could be wearing that all the time. This thing just feels amazing on the hand, lightweight, sleek, and with that comes looks. Now, when I'm wearing an outfit like this or with a jacket, it looks great. It fits that normal kind of sporty styling, a t-shirt, whatever, but with nicer looking clothes, it just looks off. Now, I care about looks, and the stainless steel watches looked great with pretty much anything that you wear, especially, the gold one or, any of the other colors, depending on what you like. Because of this, the Ultra is actually the watch that I've taken off the most because it just doesn't look good with a lot of things that I wear. Now, I really wish that this watch looked a little bit less sporty, like the leaks we had for it, and that Apple gave it multiple color choices. Now sure, keep the plain titanium because it's unpainted, it's the most durable, but if Apple gave us some options, that would be really nice. The same thing goes with the size. Now it's not too big for me and I got used to it, but for many other people, it just is, and some people have returned it because of that. And honestly, if Apple could just give us better battery life in a normal Apple Watch, which has a lower price point, that would be amazing, even if they had to cut out some of the features to put in better battery life. Now I know they talked about adding a low power mode later, but so many things get shut off. Just take a look at this list, including getting text until you actually press and turn on the watch to get it to connect. So from that point, it really doesn't make sense, and it kind of defeats the purpose of an Apple Watch just to get better battery life. So even though I am using the Ultra less than I did my previous watches, and I wish I could return it, the features and the battery life just make it worth having. And I know that if I kept the Series 8 and I use that instead, there'd be many times where I'd regret not having the Ultra. So what I figured out that I'm gonna do is keep my older gold stainless steel watch, because at this point I looked up the resale value and it is terrible. And when I want a smartwatch and the Ultra just doesn't look right, I will pop this thing on and use it. And that is a luxury I have as a tech reviewer. I already have the swatch, it's paid off, but a lot of people don't have that luxury. So let's just hope that next year the Ultra will have other colors than just the titanium and a smaller size and just better battery life in general for the normal Apple Watches. So there you guys go. That is my reasoning. I love this thing, but there's always times where I don't love it so much. Go ahead and click that circle above if you guys want to see more videos. Check out Vadim's review right over there. This has been Max, and I'll see you in the next one.